Peace and love, family. It's your girl, Sixthegoddis. And keep in mind, I'm a goddess and I'm sensitive about my shifts. Hope you all are doing well. I'm doing well. So I'm coming at you with this video today, and we're going to be talking about Tyrese and his girlfriend. I guess you call her a girlfriend. I don't know. So I'm going to be showing you guys, I believe it's an Instagram post that Tyrese posted, and he was speaking his opinion, as well as I will speak my opinion on this subject, because I know this is a sensitive subject for a lot of people. Okay, so let me just go ahead and say I'm going to speak on my opinion from what I've seen, in my girls, from what I've seen in celebrities, other people. So Tyrese spoke his opinion. I'm going to speak my opinion too. Don't come in here with that crazy stuff as though there is a right or wrong answer here, because there's not. So we're going to give my opinion. And this opinion is being initiated by this post from Tyrese. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up the post for you guys so we can take a look at this, and I'm going to read it to y'all. But before we do, I'm going to read you guys about your health. All right. I'm going to read you guys about you're not taking enough fresh fruits and vegetables in your diet, and you need to step your game up. Now, we all know school has recently started. Alpha Juice Company is a Black-owned, organic, cold-pressed fresh juice company, okay, owned by amazing people that deliver these juices to your door. If you have not juiced before, you don't know that it's very messy, very expensive. Alpha Juice does all the hard work for us and delivers this to us without any of the hassle. They even give you a straw. Alpha Juices are out here getting rid of mucus, out here decreasing our appetites, alkalizing the body, okay? Giving you the youthful glow. Honey, use my code SIXGOD to get you $5 off. You're welcome in advance, by the way. This flavor is one of my favorites. It's called Blue Meanie, and I believe it's all the celery and stuff in there that gives it the color. But it's one of my favorites. But my number one favorite is Virgo, but they do have over 45 customizable juice blend flavors. So check them out. Their information in the description. And again, I have my code SIXGOD to save you a few bucks. So let's go ahead and get into this. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you guys this. I'm going to show you guys what he said. Okay. As an older man of means, dating a woman young enough to be his daughter, we're just going to go into what he said. So I'm going to show this from my Facebook. Someone posted it and I shared it. So I'm going to be pulling it up here. I'm put on my glasses. Y'all know I can't see, honey. Hold on. Let me read this to y'all. Hold on. Tyrese says he's learned a big lesson. 43-year-olds shouldn't try to be with 25-year-olds, and that his ex's greatest fear was that he'd go back to his ex-wife. He pens, although the majority of my album entitled Beautiful Pain is about my ex-wife and this divorce that has turned into a grueling 2 years, the smiles and energy and vibrations you brought into my life will never, ever be overlooked. I have learned a very big lesson here, and that's 43-year-olds shouldn't try and connect to or relate to 25-year-olds. It's like oil and water. It just doesn't mix. I guess I'm really out here grown, and trying to keep up with these youngsters is not my life or my world. All right, so let's go ahead and break this down. Let's just go ahead and talk about this. Now, let me start by saying I don't see anything wrong with older men being with younger women. I truly don't. Now, what I will say is, and I'm speaking from my perspective as living here in the United States of America. From what I've seen, I do not on the regular see men in their 40s with loving, doting, loyal 25-year-old wives. I simply don't. Now, I always speak on this because I'm very big on our ancestors. I'm very big on looking to professionals to guide us through certain things. And peace and love to our ancestor, Frances Cress Welsing. Frances Cress Welsing came forward and said, listen, Black women need to be getting married at age 29, and Black men need to be getting married at age 35. outside of her, there have been several other studies that have shown that parents that get married and give birth to their children after 30, the children have better, healthier lives, and there is a lower risk for divorce. Now, my belief of why that is because normally, if you're living life correctly, the person you were at 21 won't be the person you are at 31. In my personal opinion, by 30 is when someone is pretty established as who they are. I look at my 20s and all the different jobs I had. One minute I knew I wanted to do this. The next minute I knew I wanted to do that. Most men in their 20s need the space and time to move around as they see fit to get to their bag and establish themselves. So to me, if we're talking about America, where most Black people in America come from broken and dysfunctional homes, this is just the reality of it. We have this perfect fantasy that sounds good. We all should come from two-parent households and loving, supportive families. And that sounds great. Okay, that sounds amazing. And in a perfect world, we'll get there someday. But we're not there right now. I'm a big on working with what you have with where you're at. With where we're at right now, the story is that's just not the case for most of us. That means most Black people here in the United States need healing. Okay, if you come from a broken household, there's no way you just grow up, get married, and everything's okay. I have counseled way too many sisters that got married under 25 with no guidance and no system to hold them accountable. And then she go through her changes, he go through his, and this is why we have these super high divorce rates. In order for a girl to be 25, 23, 21 and be someone's wife, I want you all to understand this requires, again, guidance and a system of accountability. Ideally, family, a trusted family member, her mother, grandmother, aunt, women that she can trust close to her that are older and more experienced that can help guide her through wifehood. Okay. The other option is religion. Okay. According to certain religions, you have some girls where the religion, as well as the people around, help support her through being a wife, help support the man into being a husband. The truth is, most people here do not have that. Okay, most Black women, your mamas, whoever else in your life is actually pushing you away from being a wife. It's actually pushing you away from depending on a man. So if you're going to sit here and just scoop up 25-year-olds just randomly and try to make them a wife, God bless you. And I believe that this is what Tyrese is talking about. This is why you have so many men where when they say they want a younger wife, you just simply ask them. When they say, we're not dating women who are 30, we want young women. Well, where are they? I'm the type of person, I don't like to continuously talk about something. Baby, just show us. I feel the same way with men that speak on how they're not meant to have one woman and how they want to be polygamous. Honey, don't talk me to death. You ain't got to explain nothing to me. Show me the lineup of bad chicks that's lined up to join forces to be your wives. Show me the 25-year-old girls who are their goal in life is to wake up and be the loving, doting, loyal, feminine, nurturing wife to an old 45-year-old man. Just simply show it to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to argue with nobody. I don't want to argue. I'm not here to argue again. This is just my opinion. What I'm saying is I don't see it. This is why a lot of times when I do see older dudes marry a younger girl, he goes to another country to get a woman who is destitute. Okay. Here in America, the women have too much access to jobs, employment, education. Most girls in their 20s, they trying to get their education, establish themselves, which in my opinion is necessary within balance, considering where we are as a society, where we're in a recession and inflation all at one time, and it's not getting any better. So the reality is, yes, we will need two people in each household with established incomes. Okay. So most people in their 20s, that's honestly what they need to be worried about, and healing from whatever dysfunction that happened in your life. Then your brain is fully formed. Now you've seen consistency and pattern. Now you're not in a survival mode where you have established yourself. How can you also build a real relationship in survival mode? It's very difficult. All right. So now you have Tyrese here where he's like, oh, this should never happen. Well, this is why men go to other countries and get women who are working in prostitution massage parlors, rubbing the feet of disgusting old white tourists. And then they have, fellows come in there like, hey, you want to come to America and be my wife? Absolutely, she's going. Of course, she's going to go and do that as opposed to sitting there rubbing feet. You have men that go to Africa. They go to the most poorest villages and find a young girl there. You want to come to America and be a wife? Yes. But see, the truth is this. Those same women that you're trying to finesse the game and go get that are in destitute situations, you bring them here, they get on their feet. The same thing can happen. You see what I'm saying? Like me personally, I wouldn't want to be married to somebody who has married me because it was either marry me or starve. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm kind of good on that. You know what I mean? Like I'm good. But I'm a woman, so my mind works differently. I understand that most men don't care. They just want what they want. They don't really care if she really means it. They don't really care if it's genuine to her. They just know what they need, know it needs to be done, and they don't care, and that's perfectly fine. Now, Tyrese is a established, wealthy older man. So if even he is saying, hey, this 25-year-old thing ain't it, you got to pay attention to that. That's very telling. You have to pay attention to the men who are saying that they want 25-year-olds but don't have them. I'm going to be completely honest with y'all. When these young girls, 25 and younger, when they see you as an old 40, 50, 60-year-old man coming on to them, this is the truth. The truth is they see dollar signs. They don't see a husband. They don't see a man. They see dollar signs. And I've spoken to my girls about this. And again, this is my opinion. You have a man 40, 50, 60, and he doesn't have any money. The truth is, sweetie, he probably just doesn't know how to get some. You have some men that know how to get money. No matter rain, sleet, snow, or shine, you have some men that's going to get some money. You have some men that are simply not like that. So if you have a man 40, 50, 60, and he doesn't have any money, sis, why would a young girl marry an old man with no money? Your body is 20 years in advance of hers. It's going to start breaking down sooner. Men already die sooner, so he's definitely going to die very soon. Then she's going to sit and give her young years, for 15, 20 years to a man in his 40s, 50s, 60s. Then he's going to croak and have no money to leave you. Then she's going to be 45, the age that he was when he married her, trying to find a new provider and a new husband. That's a bad deal. So for the young girls, there is no point in dating an old guy that ain't got no money. I'm just gonna keep it real. If you're gonna date a guy with no money, it should be a guy your age. That way y'all can build together. Building is for men under 30, maybe 35 and younger, maybe according to circumstance. Building is not for a man 40, 50, 60. No, if he ain't got it, if he don't, I can't remember the artist who said this, but he said, if you can't get paid in an earth this big, you worthless kid don't deserve to live. Y'all put in the comments if you know who said that. And that's a fact. A man has 40, 50, 60 years on this planet, ain't got no money, baby. Honestly, it's probably not going to happen. And a woman would not be wise to give her best years to a man that age who cannot pass away and have her established. Because by then she'll be in her 40s, maybe her 50s herself. So I think that where men like Tyrese go wrong is I see where he said, I'm trying to keep up with her. Older men, too many of them be wanting relationships with younger women on some real love shit. And that's just not the way it goes. If you want to be an older man on some real love stuff, you get a woman your age. She'll look at you and see real love. I'm sorry, 25-year-old, 23-year-olds child, they're not looking at y'all old ass and go, oh my God, I just want my goal in life to be his wife and cook for him and clean for him and stay home and have his babies. I mean, it's not, she young, she got time. This is not me saying that girls should be young and go out and thought and bop. My thing is, when a girl is young, she should be healing, getting to the bag. All right. So now Tyrese over here getting took up through there, and I don't understand why. To me, if I'm an older guy and I am dead set on getting a 25-year-old, I'm going to go into it already knowing she here for the money and keep it flowing to her so she shut up and do what I want and keep it moving. Why do y'all be 45 years old, get with these 25-year-olds? You're off to be her father. Men go in stages of their lives. Once a man get 40s, 50s, 60s, he's supposed to be in the giving season of his life. You know what I'm saying? You have your 20s and 30s to work, stack your bread. Once you get in that older stage, it's time for you to be generous. It's time for you to give. So my thing is, if y'all want these young girls, Come with the check off rip, period. Come with the check for the beginning. Cut the check, make sure the check keep coming, and know that that's what it is, and be okay with that. You got your young girl. Now, I'm going to keep it real with y'all. Again, we talk about fantasy. Just like fantasy for women is every woman fantasizes on a man who will pay all her bills, take care of everything. She ain't got to work. She ain't got to lift a finger. This is ideal. This is technically how things are supposed to be. Are women supposed to be sent out into the job market to fend for themselves and bring home a paycheck by nature? No. But women have had to, as a collective, have had to pivot and make do. The truth is 2022, no. Most of the time, one income cannot sustain an entire family, especially with multiple children. So women have had to exit the ideal fantasy, which is that the man is the sole provider, and help work. And I think for the most part, women have done a good job on doing that. For the most part, okay? For the most part, most women are realistic and understand we're going to have some kind of income coming in. Now, fantasy would be every woman get with a man that's paying all the bills, doing everything. Reality is that's not how it's going to happen. It's the same with men with this fantasy of the young women. It sounds great. Yes, 45 with a hot 25-year-old, great. Is that really happening? No. Is that really sustainable? No, because as Tyrese said, you see how he said, it's like oil and water. We can't relate. Don't get with them young girls trying to relate and be in love. Get with them to cut the check. You have a young, hot body, and that's what it is. No, you're not going to relate. I don't want to hear she's mature for her age. No, she's not. You're not going to relate. Nothing that. Leave with the money. Let that be what it is. Y'all need to pull a Marcus Houston. Which I need to pull. Marcus Houston got him a religious girl, and he cut that check off rip. That girl don't want for none. She don't work. She don't lift a finger. You don't hear them complaining. You don't hear nothing. That girl has people, and she's Jehovah's Witness. Y'all know I was raised Jehovah's Witness, so I know how they get down. She got people to hold her accountable and keep her focused and show her how to do this, because you don't know what the fuck you're doing as a 25-year-old girl. I'm telling you that right now. God help you trying to lock down girls at 25. Pray for you. Okay. Now, you have to also understand this. As young women, she's coming into this a little bit more green. If a man is older, it depends on his situation. If a man is in his 40s, 50s, no kids, never married, it's going to be pretty hard for him to suddenly go to knowing how to be considerate of other people when he's really only had to take care of himself. Some men in their 40s, 50s, 60s have been divorced. They've lost families before. They've had their families break up before. That comes with a certain level of baggage. You see what I'm saying? These young girls looking at y'all old ass like, nigga, break bread or play dead. Okay. Now, in every situation, there's an anomaly. I heard some men saying, I married my wife at 25 and we're good and that's great. Okay. There's always an exception to the rule. I'm talking about what it is in majority. So these are the options. There really is no point in this. I tell young girls, don't get with no broke old man. There's no point in doing that. That's useless. You're going to do that, build with a guy your age where you will have more longevity out of his body. It's going to be less time. He's going to need to pop a pill to get it up and pass away before you. Women have to be very careful on not wasting their time. But I'm going to be honest with you, from what I've seen, when we talk about men that, have something to lose, men that, don't have time for the BS, I don't see them typically trying to build a relationship with 25-year-olds. I've seen them, have a young 25-year-old be their side chick, but I don't get this fantasy, because when I look in real life, valuable men and they 35 and up, they're not out here trying to like wife up 25-year-olds. They're just not. When I see them, like, I was just on vacation last week. I'm seeing all kind of rich men out there at this expensive ass resort. I didn't see any of them with 25-year-olds. They were with women 30 and up. They were with some women in their 40s, especially when we talk about Black women, because Black women, we just start getting fine at 30. Maybe y'all getting us confused with the other women where by 30, they agent like milk and they start going downhill. I mean, that's just not the case for us, nor is that the case for Black women's fertility. That's other women they talk about where by 30, they stop being as fertile. That's just not the case for us. So if you look into your real life, where do you see all these wealthy men running around with 25-year-old? I mean, you just don't see it. And if you do see it, again, he already cut that check, knows what it is, and doesn't complain. I don't get this thing with Tyrese with the whole complaining thing. I'm a little bit confused, about why he is kind of like crying about, like, what did you expect? It's like a 25-year-old Instagram model, be for real. You know what I'm saying? So everybody got to go into these situations knowing what it is. Me personally, I prefer to date older men. Absolutely. But for me, it's more of, I think because I had a child so young, I think that young guys remind me of my kid. You know what I'm saying? I'm my kid. Like, if you listen to the same songs he listens to, and usually men my age, I haven't really felt that attraction for them. Normally, I like men older, but even for me, I'm not about to be with no broke older man, honey. No, man. You know what I'm saying? So again, I have too many men. I hear them say, "Oh, young girls love older guys. They love that check." Okay, them 25-year-olds. Now, I think older men are handsome. I see several older men. I'm like, "Ooh, hey, daddy," you know what I'm saying? And that's cool, but I'm 32. I'm talking about as a 25-year-old. No, that's not how it's going. So everybody need to know what it is. Kind of stop being in this fantasy. Like, let shit be what it is going to be. That way, no one has to worry about this odd disappointment and writing these long paragraphs. I don't know why you writing these long paragraphs on here. Okay. I don't understand that. It couldn't be me. I tell my girls what it is, you know, that's what you're going to do, fine. But trust and believe, when they see they looking for stability, they looking for that cheddar, that green, that cabbage. Y'all, please stop lying to yourself, telling yourself that these young girls like your old ass. They like the stability, the money. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's what it is. Y'all let me know your opinion in the comments. Again, most men I see that's doing their thing, they with women late 20s at the youngest. And I've heard them say out their own mouth, I don't date 25-year-old, 23-year-olds. I don't got time for that. Okay. Most women 25 and younger, they don't have any control over their emotions. They don't have any experience when it comes to how to manage life, manage situations. All right. And a lot of men are like, I don't have time for the liability. That's how I feel about clear people. Are there some good, clear people? Yes, I'm sure. Do I have time to sit and sort through all of them to find the few good ones in the mix of the bad ones? I ain't got time for that. So ladies cannot get caught up in this whole theory of, oh, by 27, you're done for. Girl, please. A lot of these men is not checking for these young girls at all. They do not have time for the craziness, roller coasters, and antics that come with it. Long as you look good and you know what's up, that's what it is. A lot of men are choosing peace instead of youth and aesthetics. You see what I'm saying? They want peace and the aesthetics. That you just having the youth thing, a lot of men just ain't going for it. So y'all tell me y'all opinion, how you feel about the situation. What do you think? Do you think that young girls are really out here lined up to be loyal, doting wives of these 40, 50, 60-year-old men just off GP, just off face card? Or do you think it's a money thing? I want to hear from the fellas. Do you prefer to date women who are younger? Let me know. Let's talk about it in the comments. Y'all, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. Ladies, if you like today's makeup look, then you can go ahead and join my Patreon to go ahead and look into how I create these looks and this hair, along with some amazing girl talks where we drop some major gems. So again, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I will see you all on the next one.